Yeah, I think the personal philosophy that I have is a little tiny bit global, but it's only the part of global part of the global world that strikes me and hounds me and gnaws on me, and so it shifts a bunch. And I just finished a bunch of pieces based on the dyslexic notion of dog and God, which I thought was very amusing, and I think nobody else did. But it's about not getting religion right and still approaching things very sincerely, and how that's kind of the problem of the whole world, since we all seem to know exactly what God wants, or many of us do, and what rules God has for us all. And it's just, it's amusing and sad, and it's the source of pain and aggravation and warfare, and it's something to think about. So I would say my inspirations range from Giotto to Marguerite Dumas, who was a figurative painter. So most of my inspiration lies in the physical, figurative work, not so much abstract. And my own life feeds it, and my own sense of feeling threatened, or worries for children, worries for the globe. And so this is the only place I have to work it out. And I don't have really enough time to work on it as much as I'd like, but pretty much everything kind of feeds off that little line of thought. The other thing about being an artist, and I think it is a tremendous luxury. All of us are, most of us are rather poor, but you get to step completely away from your motivation once you've started it. And that is a very curious luxury to me. I can make something, and then I get to step back. And it's kind of like sending your kids off to college. It's like, well, you're done. And it exists completely separate from you. And that is a very luxurious way to work. I don't even think authors have that kind of luxury, where they get to step away from their work and let their work just stand. And in some ways, I think I'm not even responsible for it anymore once it's out there. But at the same time, I'm tied to it, so I guess I'm not completely free of it when it's done. But it's a kind of funny thing, and you never have to retire from it, so you just get to make stuff forever, which is. And you know what? There's that weird thing. I do like to make things. I like the idea of making a thing. Drawings are everything. And if I had a physical motivation, it would be to somehow build that link between drawing and my work. And everything starts as a drawing. And part of my motivation for doing this may be to streamline my time in the studio. I don't have a lot of time in the studio, and I always work from drawings. I always have a sketchbook. I take sketchbooks with me everywhere. Most of the drawings, as soon as I do them, I decide they are completely stupid. I have to go back and look at them a month later, and then they're useful to me. And they're a record of my life, I guess. But that energy, Fioris West, the first drawing class I ever took, Fioris taught, and he said, you draw water from a well, you draw conclusions. He just used every way that you could think of using and applying the word to draw. And it's so much more than mark making. But it records your energy level, it records your intentions, the subtle things. And if you're really intent on drawing, you don't even erase, because there's like no forgiveness either for what you do. You're on a path, and you just have to keep going. And I think drawing informs everything I do.